Good evening. Today we're going to do a deep dive into Johnson & Johnson's intercultural communication practices. My name is Chris Washington and this is for SPC 6920 Spring 2004. We're not going to do a deep dive into Johnson & Johnson's backstory here. From Band-Aids to vaccines, most people are familiar with Johnson & Johnson's brands as they maintain a solid foothold in the healthcare industry. So today we're going to focus on J&J through an intercultural communications lens. Before corporate social responsibility was a common phrase, Johnson & Johnson was operating with the idea that good business and being a reliable community partner went hand in hand. To that end, former chairman Robert Johnson crafted the company's moral compass, or as the members of the J&J team call it, our credo. Since then, J&J has attributed its success to an adherence to the credo as a roadmap to fostering relationships with the communities in which team members live and work, as well as the world community. Now we're going to go over the strategies, initiatives, and challenges of intercultural communication for J&J. J&J, as part of the Credo, seeks to provide an inclusive work environment where each person can be considered as an individual. To that end, J&J establishes three pillars to serve both its employees and its customers. As you can see on the screen, we have build a diverse workforce for the future, enhance business performance and reputation, and advancing our culture of inclusion and innovation. Excuse me. So through these three pillars, J&J strives to build a more inclusive environment, and that inclusivity fosters the interpersonal, intercultural communications. J&J currently boasts over 130,000 employees, roughly half of whom identify as women. These employees are positioned globally in North America, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Latin America, and Asian Pacific. As such, J&J pushes to maintain a diverse workforce which facilitates intercultural communication in these regions. There are almost 500 employee resource group participants, or ERGs, spread across the J&J footprint to enhance inclusivity and intercultural communication, and we'll touch on those next. Those 12 ERGs are broken up and they have chapters all across the world. They're led by senior Johnson & Johnson leaders, and each one is sponsored by an executive committee leader. There are 484 ERG chapters that have specific locations, and then there are 12 that are considered enterprise-wide. So there are 12 that they're also referred to as the at-large chapters. And in those, there are 26,000 participants. Participation in an ERG is voluntary, and it provides a safe space for people of like cultures to interact. Here you can see the 12 ERGs. They break down according to what race or ethnicity someone subscribes to. You have gender-based, you have veterans, you even have professional ones such as the Nursing Alliance or the Pharmacist Network. So within these 12 ERGs, employees are invited and encouraged to participate and to gain enrichment by interacting with people of those specific cultures. Now, I do want to point out here that culture, according to the credo, according to inclusivity, it's not just referring to race. Culture can be a particular profession, such as the military veterans or the nurses, as we said earlier. It can be gender-based, such as the women's leadership and inclusion. So J&J strives to have something for everyone to feel that there's an opportunity for inclusivity that there's a home for them here. Okay. J&J uses its global initiatives to not only support the local community, but also to endear the brand to the populace and build referent power. Some of these global initiatives you'll see on the screen. You have Reignite. Uh, this primarily caters towards women who have worked in the STEM community, but have been gone from the workplace for 2 or more years. So they're offered what's called a returnship as an opportunity to come back, get engaged, and follow through with the recruitment process to to be gainfully employed in their STEM industries through J&J. Uh, J&J Lung Cancer Initiative. It's a 5-year study. It started in 2018. It was scheduled to end last year. Um, so those results should be out soon. Vision Made Possible, increasing eye health awareness around the globe. Now, J&J has these and other initiatives, and whereas they in themselves serve a purpose, it's through these initiatives that J&J opens the door for intercultural communication. This is the bridge, this is the common ground, and this builds the referent power as those local cultures are endeared to J&J and J and the services that they're providing to the community, and being that uh, community partner, if you will. Now we're going to talk about some assessment of effectiveness. When it comes to what J&J is doing right, they have their cultural diversity programs, the ERGs that we just discussed. We also saw the recruiting of uh, local women in different countries to get involved in STEM. Through that local recruiting, J&J is fostering a workforce that's representative of the communities in which they serve and the clientele to which they sell. Cross-cultural collaboration. Johnson & Johnson encourages cross-cultural collaboration amongst its global teams to leverage diverse perspectives and expertise. You'll see that in different parts of the world, J&J will ensure that there are members on the leadership team or in the decision-making teams that reflect the local populations being served. So through that representation, you're going to see more cross-cultural collaboration. The global leadership development, you'll see that there are initiatives like we spoke about before where J&J will also get involved in the community to empower the local population, in this case, the women there, to strive for economic parity with their male counterparts. Through leadership training, managers and executives, they also learn how to lead diverse teams effectively. So even if you're not involved in one of the ERGs, you're still going to want to ensure that your leadership treats you in an inclusive manner. So by having these leadership development programs, both internally and externally, J&J is trying to make for a more inclusive workforce. Cultural sensitivity in marketing and operations. The ads that you'll see in the United States, you won't see in the Middle East. Tailoring the marketing programs to the local population to ensure that we're being culturally sensitive to their cultural norms, to their attitudes, their beliefs, their values. It's an important thing to being a community partner. And as a global leader, as a global organization, J&J makes sure that the marketing is catered towards the community with which they want to communicate. That is how we get to the intercultural communication, and that is how we continue to build upon the foundation of our credo. Now, just like with any other organization, there's always going to be room for improvement. The cross-cultural training. As I mentioned earlier, J&J has a habit of recruiting members of a local population. In doing so, that person serves as a bridge. However, if you were to offer language training or cultural training to someone who may not be from that area, you're empowering that person to be able to take local ideas, local cultures, and spread them afar. You're also giving them room for improvement. You're giving them the opportunity to enrich their own career. If the only people that are able to talk to, say, the local population in Mumbai are the employees that we hire in Mumbai, then we're missing an opportunity to build the cross-cultural collaboration within our workforce. Also, along those same lines, when we have these employee resource groups that are broken down to a specific culture, it provides a safe space for those employees to engage with one another, and that is important. However, if we were to incentivize members of other cultures to attend those meetings from time to time, they may learn something about their teammates that they didn't know before. It may be an opportunity for them to take what they're learning and apply it in their own teams when it comes to that cross cultural collaboration, giving someone the opportunity to learn so they can apply it. That would benefit the organization. So both of those areas of improvement, they beat in the same vein. Whereas it's great that we have opportunities for people of all cultures to feel included. But if we take that opportunity to spread understanding of these cultures, then we're getting past just inclusivity. We're also getting into an enhancement of our cross-cultural understanding. In summary, Johnson & Johnson's global initiatives, they play a crucial role in promoting intercultural communication, inclusivity, and driving success in an increasingly diverse and interconnected world. Through these efforts, the company strives to create a workforce where cultural differences are celebrated, communication barriers are overcome, and collaboration thrives across borders. As I said earlier, my name is Chris Washington, and I thank you for your time.